relationships for the greater good of us all, vaccinated or not. So today, I speak as a reminder to myself and a reminder to all, we don't raise our voice, we better our arguments. So as we gather here today, I want you to join me with 3 words, folks. I'm sure you've all heard these 3 words before. I promise you they are the kryptonite of tyranny. These 3 words are, we stand together. Come on now. We stand together. Down here. We stand together. We stand together. Louder. We stand together. We stand together. We stand together.
We stand together.
We stand together, and we will continue to. So the next stop speaking, we have a Royal Irish Regiment veteran who would like to say a few words, please. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you all for being here today. It makes a big difference. Each and every one of you being here today makes a difference. I'd also like to thank Fiona for obviously organising this today. She's done an awful lot of hard work over the last few years, and I think we all realise how much that's meant to everybody here. As for myself, I wasn't actually planning on speaking today, so unlike the other guys here, there's nothing prepared. All I could do is give you my... Can you hear me now? Yes. I'll just remind myself I'm in the drill square. Right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me now? Yes? Yes. Great stuff. All I can say is I haven't prepared anything for this today because I wasn't expecting to be speaking.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Yeah. I'm just conscious that we all stand together somewhere else. Might be even better. As a Royal Irish veteran, I signed up a number of years ago in my youth to protect and defend the people of this country. That doesn't change because I'm no longer a serving member. All the veterans are still of one mind in that way, and I think I could speak for a lot of them in that we haven't gone away and we understand what's going on, and we're not going to leave you in the lurch, let's just say. We will always be there, and we will always be here to defend the people of this country. That is from a threat from abroad and also from home enemies.
Yes.
You couldn't tell the police there, could you?
I'll keep my personal thoughts about our brilliant police force to myself, I think.
Yeah.
But yes, these last few years, I must admit that, I was asleep up until the COVID side of things, which then really woke me up to what was going on. And I've seen a massive fall in our freedoms over the last few years. I'm a father and a grandfather, and I am damn sure I am not prepared to lie down and let the freedom that I had as a child and an adult be taken away for our children and our grandchildren. If we think about it, on this planet, no other species has to be taxed to the hilt and freedom taken away. We are the only species on this planet that actually has to pay to live here. That's just madness. This planet provides everything that we need. Unfortunately, for a few greedy people, they want everything.
Yeah.
But by being here today, as one group, irrespective of what the media like to try and spin of dividing us against colour, creed, religion, this is not about anything like that. This is humanity. We have a spiritual war. We have good against evil, irrespective of your religious beliefs. This is a war that has been going on, and we cannot let evil win. By standing here together today, in whatever numbers we are showing the evil in this world that some of us still hold the light of goodness and truth, and we are not going to go away, not with threats, not with anything else. ladies and gentlemen, considering I didn't exactly prepare for this, I'd just like to say thank you all for listening to an old Irishman spouting something to you all, but it makes me proud to see you all here today. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Well done.
Can you, just before you do that, 22 seconds. What's your name again? Stephen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, he's just going to speak for 1 minute. We've got a gentleman who's 89 years old called Stephen. Give him a massive round of applause, please, guys.
Brilliant.
Do I need that? Hello, everybody. Hello. Very briefly, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very briefly, I expect you all know the names of one or two of the people I've been reading over the last few years. Electronic Silent Spring by Katie Singer. Electronic Silent Spring by Katie Singer, taking her title from Rachel Carson of 62. Elana Freeland books, and most importantly, Arthur Furstenberg, The Invisible Rainbow about electricity and life. Now, I'm quite sure that the so-called vaccines are not safe at all, but I think also very dangerous.
Well done. Yes.
Very dangerous is 5G, which is underpinning everything here. 5G and modern technology. Very dangerous. I'm sure you all know that. Thank you.
Well done.
Yes. Can I have another go now?
Our next speaker ran for London Mayor, and he's the founder of Fair Fuel UK, and his name is Howard Cox. Can you please give a warm welcome to Howard, please?
Hello everyone, I'll stand up here. Oh, is that the wrong one? Can you hear me?
Just.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome today, and it's nice to see a good turnout, but about 2010 I set up a campaign called Fair Fuel UK. You can't hear?
Okay, can you hear me?
Thank you. In 2010 I set a campaign up to actually, because the incredible, we're still the highest tax drivers in the world, and one of the biggest things, the theme of today is freedom, and the biggest, I suppose, a tribute to what we can do in terms of freedom is to drive. How many people drive here? How many people got a diesel?
Yes.
How many got a petrol?
Yes.
Okay, who's got an EV? Okay, it's freedom of choice. But guess what? That lot over there, the new government, are going to try and stop this. They've already moved the 2035 ban of new diesel and petrol car sales back to 2030. I'll give Sunak a bit of credit, he moved it from 20 to 2035. But it was Boris Johnson who brought it back from 2040 to 2030. Now what is really frustrating for me is not only the freedom of speech and freedom of movement, is actually in 7 weeks' time we got a budget. The first budget, and this is going to be really, I think, the cliff edge point of this administration, because I've seen credible information in the building behind me in the Treasury that we're going to get a 10p increase in fuel duties. What that means is for everyone with an ordinary family car, it's about £6 more to pay in the tank. But let's get this in perspective. You imagine a haulage company with about 50 trucks, does about 7 miles to the gallon. It will cost them £100,000 a year. That means they can't employ staff, they can't train staff, and get this even more, they can't buy clean kit. So this is the stupidity of that lot over there. They don't realise that putting more money in our pockets will make us freer, and we spend more money, and society gets better. It's common sense, isn't it?
Yes.
So from my point of view, I'd like to say thank you for coming here today. I'm frustrated as hell what's going on at the moment. I was going to retire from Fairfield UK. We managed to stop £200 billion of tax increases in the last 15 years. But it's all going to reverse on October the 30th in the budget. It's going to be painful. Guess who said that? Starmer.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful. Do you remember him? Anyway, I honestly think I've got a bet that, of £50 with Bet-Fred that this administration will be finished within 3 years. I hope I've got that at the moment 30 to 1. But I think that's going to be dropping anyway. So thank you very much. But please support fairfueluk.com. It's free. Just sign up because I'll give you the information of how to actually contact your MP to tell them to go and get stuffed. Sorry, to cut fuel dues. All right. So thank you very much for your time. Cheers.
Get Starmer out! 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 Let me hear us! Get Starmer out! Get Starmer out!
What?
Get Starmer out!
Which one?
Get Starmer out!
How many?
Get Starmer out! Get Starmer out! Get Starmer out! Get Starmer out!
Can I just give a big, a quick shout out to all of the independent media that are here today. Now these guys that come down and film and make sure this content gets out. We've got Si from What the F is going on. I don't know why I'm trying to keep it clean because everyone in there is a cunt. But thank you, Simon. And also Willsey from Resistance GB. I've seen you before. And I forgot your name. Louis Errington, thank you very much. But I'm going to say that Willsey's been doing some great work. He's also been dragged through the courts as well because, guess what? He accosted Keir Starmer and called him a murderer and a paedophile protector, I think, with the rest of us. So well done to Willsey. And also, he's got a live event. He's got Resistance GB Live on Thursday, the 26th of September. It's in Finsbury Park from 5:30 p.m. in London. So you want to ask Willsey about what he's doing more of at the Night Owl. Thank you, Piers. You always interrupt. You throw me off. But thank you, guys. I'm really, really pleased to see you all down here. And Stephen always comes from Wales. Stephen here in the red cap. Relentless Stephen with his Welsh flag. Woo! And thank you all for travelling down.
Are you going to say a few more words?
If I can, yeah.
Yeah, Piers is going to speak again, and we never get bored of Piers, do we?
No.
Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Somebody hold this.
I can't.
Howard Cox is gone.
Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Someone hold this. Would you hold this? Someone hold this here. All right. You just...
Okay. It's all right. You just hold it. Yes. Resist. Defy. Do not comply. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I'm speaking the second time, but the first was a warm-up when to keep the police at bay. Anyway, it's very interesting. The police have been held back, haven't they? That's because our numbers count. And when we count the numbers, you know, there's more of us than them. So when we get to the final, well, the end of all this, we can win. And are we going to win?
Yes.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to bring you some good news. But first of all, a bit of bad news. I was also a candidate for the mayor, or I attempted to be. I took them to court when they tried to stop me, and then they charged me £27,000 for the privilege of reading out the rules and saying no on the bottom. Well, I'm not going to pay. The next bit of news, it's good news. Every Thursday between 1 and 2 o'clock we have a rally outside the BBC called the Truth Hour. And anyone who's got some truth to tell can come there. And this week we're going to be talking about the truth about the polio jab and the failure of the BBC to expose it. See this fact here, the polio jab causes polio, and mainstream doctors accept this. And the reason why polio has declined in numbers in the last 30 years is because they've renamed the symptoms as another disease. So the whole polio thing is a scam,
And it would be very foolish for the Palestine Authority to go ahead with it. Because after all, Israel's allowing it. The Israel which is killing children then says, well, stop killing them now. You can kill them yourself with the jab. That's what it's about. We have to resist this. And this gives us a real opportunity to build bridges with the Palestine movement. Because there's people in the Palestine movement trying to control it. And when I go there saying the World Economic Forum is the problem, they say, Piers, that is conspiracy theory and anti-Semitic, and try and drive me off the march. I'm absolutely serious. They are controlled and limited to just about another little war. Look, it's not just another little war. It is the front attack of the World Economic Forum, and if they get away with this, there'll be more genocide wars.
Yes.
Yes, there will. And just to get things in perspective, what's happening there is an utter disgrace, but of course we've also got, here we are, the monkeypox virus. You want to hold that up? Yeah, Linda, if you bring it forward, please, so they can see it on the camera. Monkeypox will be coming here soon. Stand here so they can see it on the camera, please. Thank you very much. They are claiming that monkeypox is going to come. No, this is just another jab cough. Justice for Grenfell. Well, we'll give you in a second. He wants to do justice for Grenfell in a minute. That's fine. Yes, thank you. All right, oh, he's done it. Okay. Okay. Yes. They're going to try and use the so-called monkeypox or mpox, or actually cross off the K, and it's moneypox. They're going to use that to control you and likely have another lockdown. And what do we have to do when we have another lockdown? Take to the streets! 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 And when we do that, well done, I would suggest we actually take over the town halls. Because the town halls are wanted by the World Economic Forum to bypass this talking chamber and actually implement their controls, actually implement 15-minute cities, actually implement ULEZ and all those nonsense things, to implement total control. So that's where we have to aim ourselves. And, well, carrying on a bit, I won't be much longer, but the good news is, more good news is, the powers that be are splitting in the face of our world resistance. Think about it. We've had Macron and Starmer standing together in Paris to support the imprisonment or the suppression of Telegram. Because Telegram, they say, is allowing too much freedom. And the would-be president of the USA, namely the Democrat, but I wouldn't trust the other one either, but let's just leave their names out of it. They want to suppress Telegram too. All the mainstream are against free speech, but they're giving space because we are resisting so much. Think about it. And another thing, a split going on, that boat that sank. That big boat that sank, an unsinkable boat that sank, just 2 days before that the owner died, his mate in court, where they just argued some big court case and won, was killed in a car accident. Then suddenly his unsinkable boat sinks. They claim it was a tornado, but there was no tornado, or rather a water spout. There wasn't one there. And a top banker was also killed at the same time. Now, what is going on? It is splits within the mega corporations, fighting over the bits, fighting over who's going to be in charge when world depopulation has happened, or resisting each other to get what they can before they run away themselves. Just think about it. So, anyway, back on Saturday, we're going to have a magnificent opportunity to build a real united bridge with the Palestine movement. We go there with banners and placards linking Palestine to all the attacks coming upon us from the World Economic Forum. The jab of polio is one thing, but there are plenty of other things. We have to unite together to build an effective force which will defeat those bastards in there and in the town halls. And I'll just run through a very few more things to say, look, there are many issues to deal with. We do have to deal with them. There's lots of stuff happening in London. Do come across to theunitedfront.net ye.net to find out what's going on, or come to my Twitter @Piers_Corbyn. But they've been using the Tommy Robinson stuff, and by the way, on the scale of things, let's be clear, 30,000 people coming across the channel every year unsolicited is a lot. It's dangerous and bad and undermining. But there's another number they don't talk about. 150,000 people every year in Britain have been killed by the jab. They don't talk about that at all. That's 5 times as many. Why isn't that mainstream headline every day on the BBC? How many more people have died from the jab imposed upon us by the lies of those people in that building? So that's why the BBC True Power is so important. So they, on the back of the riots, and the riots of course were fomented by Starmer, absolutely, with all the propaganda and so on. And it wasn't surprising the way it would happen when Tommy Tide is given a huge amount of money to have a rally up the road there. He then made a speech about various things. But what they want to do, he said, we want digital ID to control rioters. We want a new armified, militarised police to control you lot, us lot, actually, when the time comes. And we want online censorship. And then we want to impose more vaxes and so forth. So I will just end by saying we've got to unite against all the fake opposition which are paid for by Israel, namely Tommy Card, Fake Freedom Farage and Kia Servile Starmer. And I will end there with a couple of slogans. The Israel state must be defeated.
Yes!
Yes, and the World Economic Forum must be destroyed. Yes. Let's chant that one. The World Economic Forum must be destroyed. The World Economic
continues today because of the failure of those people in that building over there. They tell us that it's a conspiracy that Sir Keir Starmer just happened to be in charge when Jimmy Savile was let off, but I don't believe that. I don't know about you, I do not believe that at all. I believe that Sir Keir Starmer, along with every other politician, doesn't matter whether they're Conservative or Labour, black, white, wherever they're from, they are all puppets and they are all child molester protectors. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Including the brass at the BBC as well. Up until just 10 years ago, when I reported what happened to me, I was asked by the police, are you a homosexual? As if that has any bearing on who a paedophile chooses to offend against. These are still the attitudes within the police towards child abuse. Activists like myself, Sophie James, Kelly Avis, Alan Merritt, I could go on and on and on around this country, are continually targeted because we will not say that the things that happen against us are historic. We believe they're happening right now, and we believe the only way that we can save children is to come to things like this and speak in front of regular people like you who... I didn't know what I was expecting when I came today. Truth be told, it's been a long time since I came here. You know, you hear left-wing extremists, you hear right-wing extremists. All I see in front of me is a group of regular, perfect, everyday citizens who are concerned about their country. That does not make you left-wing. That does not make you right-wing. That makes you free in your minds. I have just one thing left to say. A few of these guys down the front were in Portsmouth a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to be reiterating what I said there. But I believe over there that this is not by coincidence that these people attack our children, and not just our children but every single one of you. I believe it is by design. I believe they have a very, very simple plan. They want to demasculate the men, because without a foundation it is difficult to build a society. They want to masculise the women, because without a heart, without a loving, caring nature, we have no heart in this society. And finally, the plan that matters the most. Don't get me wrong, I stand with everything that you say today. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I'm proud to say that she's never received a vaccination in her life, and she never will, ever. I stand for freedom, even if I don't agree with some of the things that are being said here. I stand for your right to say it. But they want our children because they are our future. And if you take the foundation, you take the heart, and you take the future, we have no hope. But I don't see a group around here of people who look like they have no hope. I see a group of people here who are ready to fight, who are ready for action, who are ready for freedom!
Get starmer out! 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 Get starmer out!
Get starmer out! Get starmer out! Your face stays Your face stays
Any more? Maybe we should go home.
Guys, there's quite a few people here for this rally. Been a few speeches being said, and it's been quite good actually, peaceful.
Recently, I explained it properly to you later. Wait till you see the videos on page 1. That's all I'm doing, that's all I'm saying. There's a HMK claim and then solicitors tonight about it.
Anyone else want to hold this?
Not police officer has their rights to manhandle someone like they did to me.
Anyone else got any words? Any words locally? What's going on locally in different places?
I'll have a look.